I am speaking today with the Estonian composer Arvo Pärt. Arvo, thank you for agreeing to talk to us.
You're welcome, Tom. As an Estonian, it's quite a thing to be a cartoon with an English accent.
Yes, indeed. Alas, that's one of the limitations of this animated medium, but as a Canadian I quite enjoy how I sound here. Arvo, I want to begin by saying that I find the sound world of your music very compelling. Each sound has what feels like a lot of weight and meaning. And the music moves slowly yet inexorably, as if all of its parts are intimately connected like the gears of a fine watch. The time in your music doesn't feel like the forward-moving teleology of Beethoven or Bach either. When I listen to your music it feels like time itself slows down, giving my thoughts space to roam, and sometimes even soar. It's almost as though the sounds of your music have silence embedded in them.
I'm happy you like the music, Tom.
I want to ask you, Arvo, how did you come about your style of composing, a style you have called tintinnabulation, and that some critics have labeled to be a kind of mystic minimalism?
It was an epiphany, Tom. An epiphany inspired by a chance encounter with a street cleaner outside my house in Tallinn, Estonia, in the 1970s. You see, Tom, I was searching. I was searching for inspiration, a pure path, a solution. A solution that would unite my spiritual, musical, and emotional life. A way to make music a space for transformation.
I see. Go on.
So, Tom, the epiphany came in the way of a question and its answer. I asked the street cleaner, what should a composer do? And he told me, well, Arvo, a composer should love every note. That was his reply.
Incredible. What a wonderful perspective on the composer's métier.
Yes, Tom. And you know, no music teacher had ever told me something like that. And as I thought about what the street cleaner said to me, I felt my heart lifting and my thinking crystallized. What crystallized was my belief that to really love every note would mean working with a small group of pitches in a deliberate, and you could say, in a contemplative way.
Tell me more about your style that you call tintinnabulation. The word is the Latin word for bell, is it not?
Yes, that's right. Musically, tintinnabulation was influenced by my experiences with chant music.
Do you mean the early music of the Christian Church?
Yes. You see, in chant I heard every note bestowed with love. There is also abundant space in this music. It moves slowly, and so there's space for each note to resound and breathe in the gloriously reverberant acoustic spaces of the church. Chant was a great teacher of mine. It provided me with a template for a musical conscience, an ancient pathway to the future. Chant taught me that it is enough when a single note is beautifully played or sung. So in my tintinnabulation style of composing, I work within this aesthetic framework.
How does it work, this framework?
Well, Tom, there are two types of voices in the music. The first is the tintinnabular voice. This voice arpeggiates the tonic triad.
That's the do, mi, and so, of a scale, is it not?
Yes, exactly. And the second voice moves diatonically in stepwise motion. This is the essence of my music. Metaphorically speaking, one musical line represents my sins, and the other line is forgiveness for these sins. One line is more complicated and subjective, while the other is very simple, clear and objective. You could call these musical elements infinity and chastity.
That is fascinating, Arvo. But what do you mean by chastity in music?
It's difficult to explain except to say that it is about a set of embodied values. You have to know it, you have to feel it. You have to search for it, you have to discover it. You have to discover the way to express it, and you have to have the need for it. You have to desire to be like this, and all the rest comes from this.
I think I understand the space you are describing. To change the subject a little, I have always wanted to ask you whether or not you would consider making electronic music.
No, and this is why. There is a magic to acoustic musical sound. Acoustic sound is alive. It's a living vessel.
And what about electronic music then?
I find that there is very little oxygen in electronic music. The notes have nothing to breathe. Electronic music is suffocated sound. Having said this, I occasionally hear things that I like.
Can you give us an example?
Some ambient music is quite nice. There is a piece by Aphex Twin called Rhubarb, and I think this piece achieves a balance of timbre, tuning, repetition and harmony. It's electronic music but yet perfectly at peace with itself. I find it quite beautiful.
Thank you for that recommendation, Arvo. We will check out that piece of music. Arvo, I have one final question if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Is there anything else you would like to say about music or sound to viewers of this Ventrilo-Dialogue?
Yes, there is, Tom. I think sound is a very interesting phenomenon. People are so influenced by music. They don't always know how strong the music influences us, either for good or for bad. You can even kill people with sound. And if you can kill, maybe there is also sound that is the opposite of killing. And the distance between the 2 points is very big. And we are free. We are free to choose. In art everything is possible. But everything that is made, in art or elsewhere, is not necessary.
Thank you for talking with me today, Arvo.
My pleasure, Tom.